Welcome to ABC News GH. This is ABC Headlines. I am Abuna Mante. Coming up in the headlines, President John Dramani Mahama has formally requested for Parliament's approval for the appointment of 10 regional ministers, seeking the vetting and confirmation of the nominees. And the Ghana Center for Democratic Development, CDD Ghana, has strongly condemned the acts of post-election violence and vandalism that have marred the country following the transfer of power to the National Democratic Congress on January 7, 2025. Still in the headlines, President John Dramani Mahama reiterated his commitment to resolving the Boko conflict following a special visit to Boko and Nalerigu to begin resolution talks. We'll bring you more on this. We have these and let's get straight into the headlines. President John Dramani Mahama has formally requested Parliament's approval for the appointment of 10 regional ministers. A communication from the presidency has been sent to the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Babian, seeking the vetting and confirmation of the nominees. The regional ministers include for Northern Region, Adolf John, Oti Region, John Kweju Japon, Volta Region, James Gunu, Eastern Region, Mrs. Rita Kosia Ajil Awate, Northeast Region, Ibrahim Tia, Ashanti Region, Dr. Frank Amwakohene, Upper East Region, Akamugri Donatus Atanga, Ahafo Region, Charity Gardener, Savannah Region, Salisu B. Arube, and Greater Accra Region, Linda Okulu MP. The 6 outstanding regions are Bono East and Central regions. The rest are Western North and Upper West region. President John Dramani Mahama has reaffirmed his commitment to restoring peace in Boko, describing it as one of his administration's top priorities. Addressing the people of Boko during a visit, President Mahama assured residents that his government is resolute in addressing the conflict and creating an atmosphere of lasting stability. The president acknowledged the hardship the people of Boko have endured over the past 3 years, living under stress and fear due to the conflict. He reminisced about the period of calm during his previous administration when Boko and its surrounding areas thrived in peace and pledged to restore that stability. To expedite the process, President Mahama revealed that appointments for key security-related ministerial roles will be finalized within the week. President Mahama appealed to the residents to exercise patience and restraint as his administration takes the necessary steps to address the situation.
If you remember, I came here to seek the blessings of my father for the election, and God granted our heart's desire, and I got elected. And so my first mission was to come and say thank you to him. Again, during the campaign, I stated that if God granted our desire and I was elected president, bringing peace to Boko was going to be one of my #1 priorities. So today is exactly 1 week when I was sworn in at the Black Star Square. And it's my first major assignment outside Accra. And so I decided to come and assure you that we're going to work very hard to make sure that we bring peace back to Boko. I remember when I was president, Boko and surrounding areas were very peaceful, and work was going on, people were going about their duties. It's sad that this situation has occurred again. And I know that for the last 3 years, you have not been able to sleep. You've been living under stress. And so the priority of our government will be to bring peace back to Bawku so that everybody can go about his duties without fear of harassment. We want to assure you that we're putting in place the various appointments so that we can have ministers and other officials who are responsible for the security to take charge. And so within this week, we will do the appointments of the Minister of Defense, the Minister of Interior, the National Security Advisor, the National Security Coordinator, the BNI Director, and all the others. And when these appointments are made, I'm going to charge them to make Bawku one of the #1 priorities that they attend and deal with. And so I'll appeal to you to exercise patience, exercise restraint, and to let you know that I am apprised of the issue. I'm going to deal with it, and I can assure you, have trust in myself and this administration that by the grace of God, peace is going to come back. Permanent peace is going to come back to Bawku. And so, as my younger brother said, from here we'll continue to Nalego to meet the Nairi too and deliver a message to him. We cannot live in a country where our people don't feel safe. Our people must feel safe to travel wherever they want at whatever time and not have people shooting at them. And so you can be sure.
Away from Bawku, Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund has commended former President Akufo-Addo for establishing a solid economic foundation for Ghana's future. Kristalina Georgieva praised Akufo-Addo's leadership, especially his role in guiding the country through challenging economic times. She acknowledged the significant reforms and policies implemented during his administration, which she believes have paved the way for the nation's long-term economic stability. The policies and reforms during your administration have laid the groundwork for Ghana's future, Georgieva wrote. The letter also highlighted Akufo-Addo's efforts to advocate for sub-Saharan Africa during the COVID-19 pandemic. Georgieva noted that his actions were instrumental in mobilizing crucial resources to address the crisis, demonstrating his commitment not only to Ghana but also to the wider African continent. Additionally, Georgieva expressed appreciation for the fruitful collaboration between the Akufo-Addo administration and the IMF, underscoring the completion of the third review of the IMF-supported program. She described this as a testament to Ghana's progress in restoring macroeconomic stability and credited the administration's commitment to implementing essential reforms. These achievements reflect your dedication to important reforms, offering a positive outlook for the future, Georgieva wrote. The partnership between Ghana and the IMF during Akufo-Addo's presidency focused on stabilizing the economy, improving fiscal discipline, and promoting sustainable growth. Despite the challenges, these efforts have positioned Ghana on a promising path forward. Georgieva concluded her message by wishing Akufo-Addo continued success in his future endeavors, signaling the high esteem in which his leadership is held internationally. With a strong foundation laid under his administration, attention now turns to how the incoming leadership will build on these reforms to ensure ongoing growth and prosperity for Ghana. Away from the IMF, President John Dramani Mahama has appointed Justina Nelson as the acting Chief Executive Officer of the Minerals Income Investment Fund, effective immediately. This appointment follows the President's decision to revoke Edward Nana Yaw Crankton's appointment less than 24 hours earlier. Justina Nelson, who is currently the group head at the Zenith Bank, overseeing both the energy and commercial banking sectors, brings a wealth of experience from the mining and finance industries. She has held various senior roles in both private and public institutions. In a statement from the presidency, it was confirmed that the appointment was made in accordance with Article 195 Clause 1 of the Constitution and Section 21, Clause 2 of the Minerals Income Investment Fund Act 2018, Act 978. Nelson holds multiple academic qualifications, including a Master of Laws in Corporate and Commercial Law, a Master of Business Administration Marketing, a Bachelor of Laws Honors, and a Bachelor of Laws Honors in Management and Psychology. Anti-corruption crusader Vitas Azim has described as unnecessary the plan by the Minister of Justice and Attorney General designate Dr. Dominic Ayine to set up a whistleblower agency across every district of the country. According to him, there are a plethora of ill-equipped and resourced anti-corruption agencies which people can report improprieties to. Hence, the minister designate should focus his attention on resourcing these agencies. Speaking on ABC News Prime, Vitas noted that the new government should focus on the safety and protection of whistleblowers rather than creating offices in every district.
Not because there are no institutions, but because the people that are supposed to report are afraid of certain things. One is that the trust of the institutions. Then if you go to report, there's no guarantee that the institution you are reported to will act on your report. Number two, they may even reveal who you are to the accused person. And when I was at GI, we had a situation where some nurses reported about a case, and they reported to us. We decided to investigate it, to look at it, and then they withdrew because they were afraid of black power. That the people accused persons are like to do something against them. And so they decided not to continue with the investigation. We have enough institutions that can do the investigations. I don't think that we should continue to establish institutions all the time.
Meanwhile, Vitas Azim has insisted that Operation Recover All Loot oral team instituted by President John Dramani Mahama has no legal backing and cannot compel anyone to submit evidence or appear before it. His comments follow Minister of Justice and Attorney General designate Dr. Ayine's statement before the Appointment Committee of Parliament that the oral team is legal and constitutional. Speaking on ABC News Prime, Vitas Azim disputed the assertion, emphasizing that oral can only play a role of a whistleblower but has no legal and constitutional backing.
Had no legal backing. I'm not a lawyer, but he says that it's if he says it's constitutional, I cannot argue with that. But it goes to buttress the Whistleblower Act. But what I was saying about the order was that they cannot compel anybody to appear before them and provide them with evidence. I don't think they can go to a bank and ask the bank to provide bank statements of accused persons for them to study. So that was my problem with it. But I said that when they assume power, they can legalize them by going to Parliament to ask for it.
Away from oral and to Boko, security analyst Adib Sani has intimated that the president's visit to Boko and Nalerigu as part of measures to resolve the long-standing impasse in the area is a bold and major step. President John Dramani Mahama on Tuesday, January 14, 2025, visited Boko and Nalerigu to reaffirm his commitment to restoring peace in Boko, describing it as one of his administration's top priorities. The president had closed-door engagement with the various chiefs and paramount chiefs involved in the conflict during his visit. Reacting to this move on ABC Prime, Adib Sani noted that the move is a monumental one and should not end there, but should be followed with further engagements and consultations.
And the fact that this is the president's first visit outside of Accra since his inauguration is to no other place but Boku means he has Boku at heart. It means he's committed to ensuring that peace is restored in the area, knowing full well the level of security ramification the issue poses to the whole of Ghana. One of the major issues I have had with the past administration with respect to dealing with the issue of Boku is the ad hoc, unsustainable interim ways of dealing with the issue. Once there is skirmishes, they are firing, send more boots on the ground, and that is it. There hasn't been any scientific, beyond the everyday approach to dealing with the issue. Okay, and President John Mahama made this promise during his campaign that he is committed to addressing the issue. The main actors, the Zoran, Na Abu Grago, and the Nayuri is a
Away from that, the Center for Democratic Development Ghana, CDD, has strongly condemned the acts of post-election violence and vandalism that have marred the country following the transfer of power to the National Democratic Congress on January 7, 2025. These incidents reported nationwide include the storming of public offices, assaults on state officials, and ejections of personnel from their official residences. In a press release, CDD Ghana expressed grave concern over what it described as a recurring cycle of post-election hooliganism. This pattern of disorderly conduct and violence following electoral turnovers has sadly become an entrenched feature of our political culture. It poses a serious threat to the peace, stability, and democratic progress we have worked so hard to achieve, the statement read. The center called on law enforcement agencies to enforce the rule of law without fear or favor, ensuring that those responsible for the unrest are held accountable. It is imperative that the newly installed government of President John Dramani Mahama sends a strong message to all Ghanaians that such behavior will not be tolerated, said Nana Amanate, the communications specialist for the CDD Ghana. Nate added the government must also empower the Ghana Police Service to act decisively and lawfully against individuals and groups perpetrating these acts. Despite the challenges, CDD Ghana commended the country for conducting generally peaceful elections on December 7, 2024. Ghana continues to demonstrate progress in its democratic journey, but the post-election period must reflect the same commitment to peace and order, the statement emphasized. That's all for ABC Headlines this morning. ABC in the Morning comes up shortly. Do stay with us.
Rane Mokopali Adias.